quiet meadow nestled between two great whispering woods, where the grass shimmered like glistening silk under the fading light of day. There lived a special rabbit named Rosie. She was known far and wide as Rosie the Silent Rabbit, for her steps were so soft they might as well have been made of moonlight. Her little paws barely touched the ground, and her fur, the color of warm honey, seemed to glow in the golden hues of sunset. Rosie's home was a cozy burrow under a patch of lavender flowers, where the scent of the blooms filled the air and made everything feel sleepy and safe. Inside, her burrow was lined with soft moss, shells, and feathers, and in the corner sat a small woven basket with a lid made of birch leaves. This was no ordinary basket. It was Rosie's sound keeper, where she stored the whispers of the forest she collected each evening. Every night, just as the sun's last rays kissed the meadow, Rosie would tie her basket to her back with a ribbon of ivy and set off into the woods. The trees, tall and wise, whispered secrets to one another as the breeze carried their voices far and wide. Rosie's gift allowed her to hear things others couldn't. The faint hum of a drowsy bee, the soft creak of a pine needle bending in the wind, or the delicate splash of a frog's leap into a hidden pond. These were the treasures she collected, each one more magical than the last. As the sky painted itself in shades of pink and purple, Rosie stepped into the woods, her basket of sounds empty and ready. The forest was alive with quiet magic, the rustle of leaves, the chirp of crickets settling in for the night, and the distant hoot of an owl awakening in its nest. Rosie moved with grace, her ears twitching like a fawn's, her big brown eyes twinkling with wonder. The woods were her library, and tonight she was ready to gather her favorite stories. And so, with her basket in hand and the softest of steps, Rosie disappeared into the embrace of the whispering woods, the moonlight following her like a gentle guide. The meadow fell quiet, save for the hum of the crickets, as the night began to weave its own tender tale. As Rosie wandered deeper into the woods, the trees whispered secrets only she could hear. Each step she took was a dance, her paws barely touching the ground, leaving no trace on the soft earth. The basket of sounds on her back awaited its treasures, ready to capture the symphony of the night. The rustle of leaves, like pages turning in an ancient book, drew her to a hidden glade. In the center, a stream babbled softly, its voice a soothing melody. Rosie knelt, dipping her paw into the water, and heard the stream sing of distant mountains and moonlit skies. She gently placed this lullaby into her basket, where it swirled like mist. Next, a distant hoot called her attention. birds. They tickled her ears with a joke, their laughter a soft chirp. She smiled, adding their merriment to her collection. Each sound transformed into a glowing orb, filling her basket with gentle light. The moon climbed higher, casting silver beams through the trees, guiding Rosie to a hollow log. Inside, a field mouse strummed a tiny harp, its strings singing a lullaby. Rosie listened, her heart swelling with joy. The mouse offered her the melody, and she accepted, placing it in her basket, where it shimmered like the moon. Her basket full, Rosie thanked the forest. The trees swayed, gentle in their gratitude. With a contented sigh, she closed her basket, ready to return home. The moonlight lit her path, and the crickets escorted her with their gentle song. Rosie's burrow awaited, cozy with moss and feathers. The lavender blooms outside scented the air, wrapping her in safety. She opened her basket, releasing the forest whispers into her home, filling it with the symphony of the night. Each sound settled softly, a lullaby to guide her to sleep. With a happy heart, Rosie curled up, her home aglow with the magic of her collection. The forest outside grew quiet, preparing for rest. As her eyelids closed, the sounds blended into sweet dreams. And so, Rosie drifted off, her slumber a melody of whispers, the woods singing her to sleep beneath the watchful moon. The moon, now a silver crescent in the night sky, cast its gentle light over the meadow and the whispering woods. Rosie, her basket of sounds full of the forest's lullabies, began her quiet journey home. The trees, like tall, slumbering guardians, watched her go. The crickets, now softer in their song, escorted her once more, their rhythm slowing as if to match the beat of her heart. As she approached her burrow, the lavender flowers leaned in, their sweet scent deepening, greeting her like an old friend. Rosie unlaced the ivy ribbon and set her basket by her mossy bed. With a tender touch, she lifted the lid, and the sounds of the forest spilled out, not loudly, but softly, like a breath. The rustle of leaves, the owl's tale of the stars, the stream's lullaby, the mouse's harp, and the fern's laughter all blended together in a soft symphony of the night. She lay down on her bed of feathers and moss, her fur glowing faintly in the dim light of the burrow. The basket of sounds, empty now, seemed to hum with the memory of what it had carried. Rosie snuggled into the warmth of her coat, she thought of the stream's song, the owl's golden warmth, and the mouse's tiny harp. She thought, too, of the fern's laughter, now a gentle smile in her mind. But most of all, she felt the quiet, the stillness, the deep, safe warmth of the night. And then, like a leaf settling to the ground, Rosie closed her eyes. The forest's lullaby wrapped her in its soft arms, and she let go, drifting into the gentle darkness of sleep. The moon, high and watchful, cast its light over the meadow, and the burrow beneath the lavender. The basket of sounds sat silently now, its treasures shared and its work done. The night itself was a lullaby, and Rosie, the silent rabbit, was its sweetest listener. In the stillness, the world seemed to whisper,